This is TechCrunch. After a 3-week pause, DeepSeek reopens access to its API. I'm Imran Sheikh, and your Wednesday Daily Crunch starts now with 3 big headlines. Looks like DoorDash has agreed to pay $16.75 million to settle a lawsuit by New York's Attorney General that accused the delivery platform of pocketing workers' tips to cover wages. Tisk, 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 DoorDash. The lawsuit alleged that between May 2017 and September 2019, DoorDash used customer tips to offset the base pay it had already guaranteed to workers, instead of, giving workers the full tips they earned and received. The lawsuit stated that customers were also misled into believing their tips would directly benefit delivery workers. Around 63,000 New York DoorDash delivery workers stand to benefit from the settlement. We remain committed to making sure that Dasher earnings are always fair and transparent, and the allegations settled were related to an old pay model that was retired in 2019, DoorDash said in a statement to TechCrunch. As disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried serves the early days of his 25-year prison sentence, the crypto wunderkind turned criminal made his first public post on X in over 2 years. Bankman-Fried's thread on X responds to Elon Musk's recent ultimatum to federal employees: respond to his email with 5 bullet points of recent accomplishments or else resign. Well, it turns out Musk seems to have been merely trolling millions of government employees, but the SBF broke his public silence to comment on the messy situation. I have a lot of sympathy for government employees. I, too, have not checked my email for the past few 100 days, he wrote on X. And I can confirm that being unemployed is a lot less relaxing than it looks. Aw, isn't it nice to get some cheeky comments from a convicted felon? In the 10-post thread, the former FTX CEO said that firing people is hard, and sometimes people get fired for reasons beyond their own control. Why did the SBF break his silence now? Why was he so desperate to share a lukewarm take on how HR is complicated? Though the SBF's motives are unclear, FTX's token, FTT, spiked 30% after his post. It's not clear how the SBF posted on X from prison, as inmates generally can't access social media. However, some prisoners will write articles, posts, or other content from inside the prison system, which they can share with friends and family on the outside, who then post the content via the inmates' personal accounts. Chinese AI startup DeepSeek has reopened access to its API after halting service for nearly 3 weeks due to capacity constraints. On Tuesday, the company began allowing customers to top up credits for use on its API, which lets developers build apps and services on top of cloud-hosted versions of DeepSeek's AI. Server resources remain strained during the daytime. However, a representative for the company cautioned in a WeChat message seen by Bloomberg. Now, unless you've been living under an AI rock, DeepSeek rose to prominence earlier this year following the release of its openly available R1 reasoning model, which matches or bests the performance of some of OpenAI's top models. DeepSeek's competitiveness has prompted OpenAI to consider open sourcing more of its technology and, pull up certain product releases. As Bloomberg notes, DeepSeek's domestic rivals are ramping up production of their models as well. The same day DeepSeek resumed API top-ups, Chinese tech giant Alibaba launched a preview of its latest reasoning AI model, the ASCII-appropriately named QWQ Max, which the company plans to open source. Now let's go on over to producer Dennis with today's startup news in about, you guessed it, 1 minute.
Imran, thank you. Private equity firm Thoma Bravo has closed its inaugural European fund, through which it plans to take equity stakes in mid-sized software companies across the continent. Thoma Bravo launched its London office in 2023, its first hub outside the U.S., formalizing a regional presence that started back in 2011 when it acquired French software firm InfoVista. And as school districts struggle to support the mental health of their students, a startup called Sonar Mental Health has built a well-being companion called Sunny to help. As described in the Wall Street Journal, Sunny is a chatbot that relies on a combination of human staff and AI. When students text their questions to Sunny, the AI suggests a response, but it's humans who are ultimately responsible for the message. Sonar signed its first school partnership in January 2024 and says it's now available to more than 4,500 middle and high school students across 9 districts. The company says the chats are currently being monitored by a team of 6 people with backgrounds in psychology, social work, and crisis line support. And that'll do it for me. Imran, back to you.
And that's your Daily Crunch. Today's stories were reported by Kyle Wiggers, Aisha Malik, Amanda Silberling, and more beautiful, lovely TechCrunch journalists. We'll see you here tomorrow, same tech time, same Crunch channel. And until then, find us at TechCrunch.com.